Welcome back. The Fresh Air Fund is ready to invite Bronx children and families to enjoy free summer programming across the borough starting next week. Joining us now to share upcoming events and more is Fatima Shama, Executive Director of the Fresh Air Fund. Welcome, Fatima. It's so nice to have you back on the show.
It's so great to be back, Sonia. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So to start, for the past 145 years, the fund has been committed to our children and families through trying times. Can you share more about why it's important to upkeep your mission in supporting our children despite the challenges?
So I'll tell you, the organization was started in 1877 through a health crisis, through the tuberculosis pandemic. And so imagine we've just lived through another pandemic. And then, the tuberculosis crisis was affecting young people's lungs. And the idea was they should get fresh air to cleanse their lungs. And here we are, a year after COVID, and knowing the power and the importance we know after being inside for so long of being outside and kids being able to play and kids being able to have fun. And most importantly, I think for children, they've been disconnected in some ways from school. They've been learning virtually. They've been doing all these things virtually. So our mission has been to connect children to the outdoors so that they can be children, so that they can play, so that they can have fun, so that they can experience those things that, especially in the summer, are like, you look forward to it, right? And so this year we're back again with a commitment to making sure kids can have fun, they can learn, they can grow, and they can be outside safely.
I love it, and so happy to have you back this year for our children. You did mention, Fatima, something that I wanted to emphasize. We had a doctor come on earlier today on this show to talk about asthma in the Bronx and how high chronic asthma rates are and how important green spaces are for children. So if you can just emphasize on that, important aspect, and the fact that we have the most green spaces here in our community is, I think, an incredible thing to have, access for our children.
So, last year, the traditional programming of the Fresh Air Fund has been to connect children to programming outside of New York, right? So we own and operate 6 camps, 1 camp specifically for children from the Bronx, Camp Junior, which we've talked about before. But we have 6 camps. So we believe in the importance, as your guest said earlier, on the health realities of children being able to breathe clean air. Mm-hmm. But we have clean air in our city. We have clean air in the Bronx, right? The truth is, last summer, we canceled all of those traditional programs. And we were like, we have to do something for kids. Let's create spaces for them to come outside and play safely in our own communities so that they are outside, that we're actually in some ways reclaiming the open space that we have, the green space that we have for our children to be children. And so we're going to do that again this year. We're going to be in the Bronx, playing in the communities. We're going to be in Pelham Bay Park, providing opportunities for our kids to connect to science and the environment and sports. But so we brought it a bit more local last year and this year again.
I love it. It is certainly true, Fatima, that our kids in the Bronx have been through so much this past year. Can you share how the Fresh Air Fund and the families you serve have become affected throughout the pandemic and throughout the year, and how you continue to support and engage with these families despite the challenges?
Yeah, thank you so much. So it's been a hard year, right? It's been a hard year on so many levels. And for us at the Fresh Air Fund, we commit to serving children and families in the communities where we know a partnership with the Fresh Air Fund is something that could be helpful and useful to a family or to a parent. So we're working in neighborhoods where we have a great presence in the Bronx and in neighborhoods in Queens and in Brooklyn. And those neighborhoods were the ones that were most affected through this pandemic, whether it was economically, the impact of the economic crisis we've just been through, or the pandemic, or disconnecting from school in some way, or the lack of broadband. And so for us, we have called every family we work with to check in on them. We've been able to do emergency cash grants. Last year, we were able to provide summer experiences, which was incredible. We're so proud of all of our partners, and I want to just give a shout out to the Bronx Borough President's Office and to several electeds in the Bronx who were such partners with us, and community-based partners. But also, we were able to do a bunch of year-round programming for kids. We've run book clubs year-round. We've been doing virtual talent shows. We've been able to have a parent workshop where parents themselves have a place to come. So it has been super powerful. And all of that really was born out of listening to our parents and our families to hear what they needed, and then to be able to step in. So We know that literacy matters. We know that engagement matters. And so more than anything, we wanted to give that to our children. Every child has needed a place of like an exhale, right? We've all needed an exhale. Now the summer is here and we want to go outside and exhale. And so that's the next thing we're really preparing for.
Yes. And speaking of that, your upcoming Summer Spaces 2021 is starting next week. You're kicking off across the boroughs. We want to talk about here in the Bronx. So can you just tell us about, how you're gearing up for summer programming? And it's all free, right, Fatima?
Everything we do is free. And I have to say thank you to all of the people who send us money, corporations who support us, or foundations, but it's individuals, I have to tell you, or go online and make a check, or donate. But everything we do is free. And so this summer, we're going to be on streets across the city. Again, you'll see some of the programming we did last year, but we popped up play spaces in last year, 2 neighborhoods. This year, we're doing it in 3 neighborhoods in the Bronx. And that kicks off on July 6th. We have many slots for families and children to sign up. We hire locally, so we're super proud of that. The 3 neighborhoods that we're in this summer are in Mount Eden, on the Grand Concourse next to Walton Avenue. If you're in that neighborhood, we're going to be right there playing every day, Monday through Thursday. You can play in the morning or play in the afternoon. We're going to be in Soundview on Stickball Boulevard between Seward and Randall. And in Mott Haven, we're going to be on 144th Street between Jackson and Concord. And so there's lots of open spaces. You can sign up for a week. You can sign up for, we're there from July 6th to August 20th. But July 6th, that's it. We're going to pop up with color and with hula hoops and jump ropes and balls and green shirts, green fresh air shirts. We're going to see young people, but we're there to play. We're there to create safe spaces for a parent to trust us, but really for children to be children, to be in a safe space.
Wow, just seeing those clips and those images, I got goosebumps. Just seeing the kids just enjoying themselves in fresh air in our community. It's just a beautiful thing. And this is why I appreciate what you continue to do with the Fresh Air Fund, Fatima. And it's always a great joy to have you here. I'll be there. I know it's for all ages, so I'm going to be there. I'm going to be doing my hula hoop trick with my neck. Fatima, something else I wanted to bring up is that our youth also felt the brunt of budget cuts and the lack of summer employment opportunities. You did mention that through this programming, Fresh Air Fund will be providing opportunities for our older young adults as well. Can you share more about this?
Yeah, we saw this affect us or affect our young people last year when summer youth employment was on the cutting block and we weren't sure what was going to happen. And we were like, you know what, we're going to go into communities. Let's hire counselors and coaches from our communities, because there's something really powerful about not just investing in our communities, but really investing in our young people in our communities. That's the history of this organization. And we're doing the same thing again this year. We're still hiring. So if you're a young person, 18 and older, and you're looking for something to do this summer, we are still hiring because we're hiring upwards of 300 people, including, and we have 17-year-olds who will be part of an internship program. But freshair.org, you can sign up to participate in the program. You can look into working with us. You can make a donation. You can learn more about who we are and what we do. But young people in our community being a part of the change, being the role models for the younger kids, that's how we create change in our communities. And actually, more than anything, a young person who may not have ever worked with a young person or might have and think like, oh, I love this. I enjoy working. There's so many careers, whether you choose to go into education or you choose to go into being a coach or you choose to go into working in a healthcare facility with children. Like, there's so many options. And these are the kinds of jobs that get you on that path. And we love being a part of that.
That is very true. And I love that. Thank you for sharing, Fatima. In addition to in-person events, you also offer a virtual experience called Fresh Air Everywhere. What can participants do there and how do they sign up? Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yeah, so Fresh Air Everywhere is for children ages 7 to 12. And basically, it's camp, but online. So we know that some parents are comfortable having kids play outside. Some parents are ready for kids to be outside, but we have heard from some parents that they're not ready, or so that some children aren't ready. And also people need options, right? So we know that playing outside is an option, but we also knew that maybe being inside is an option too, or maybe doing both. So Fresh Air Everywhere is basically 3 hours of camp in the morning, where we will send you a box full of fun things. and you'll have counselors take you through with a focus on nature and connecting you to the outdoors. So it's doing a scavenger hunt in your neighborhood. It's planting a seed. We have a farm at our fresh air camps. So we take you to the farm virtually every day. So you get to see the rabbits and the chickens and the cow and the sheep. And so you get to create that relationship. And then of course you're in a group with other children your age. So you're now making friends with kids across the city. So that's Fresh Air Everywhere. And we also have spots available for Fresh Air Everywhere. In particular, I think we have lots of options for August, but sign up. You can see, please go online, sign up, call our office. Our team is bilingual, multilingual, and ready to help. And I'll also just say that Summer Spaces is for children ages 5 to 12. And so we're welcoming kids as young as 5 to the program to play. And so you and I will be there with them jumping on July 6th.
Yes, we will be. And Fatima, I wanted to also share that, as we know, Junior just made 3 years, since the fatal accident or what happened to him tragically in our community 3 years ago. Junior Alessandro, Junior Guzman Feliz. Fresh Air Fun opened up a wonderful camp in his honor and in his name called Camp Junior. I understand that these camps are currently not open. Fatima, can you just share, just the importance of keeping his legacy alive in the community, creating this safe space for Bronxites and for Bronx children to feel safe in camp, and when people can expect to enjoy that camp in the future.
So we actually have actually been programming at Camp Junior, but we've been doing it with families. So we know that because we were unable to serve kids in the traditional way, we were like, we have the property and we have the space. Let's have families come out and do a family camping program. And so at Camp Junior last year and this year, we've been doing day trips for families to come up and spend the day. So they're kayaking and they're fishing and they're doing arts and crafts and they're just enjoying the beauty of Camp Junior and learning more about Junior. But it's actually keeping that commitment, as many of us know and have had the amazing honor of meeting Junior's mom. And she has been a force and a partner with us. But her love and celebration with her child is something we're continuing to celebrate. So this year, again, we'll be doing family programming at Camp Junior. That's specific, though, to families who've been part of the Fresh Air Fund. So it's not necessarily open to new families because we have a lot of Bronx families who have been, family members. And so we'll be doing day trips at Camp Junior again this year. But next summer, we plan to open up traditional again, and we'll be having our programming for our young people from the Bronx at Camp Junior. We've been able to renovate the other half. So we have a lot of space to serve young people. So next year we'll be doing 9 years old to 14 boys and girls. So for next summer, we're all going to go to camp and we're all going to be able to enjoy the beauty of Camp Junior.
Thank you so much, Fatima, for your time today. It's always wonderful having you on the show. We can't wait to see you at Summer Spaces starting next week, Tuesday, July 6th to Thursday, July 9th. Again, you can find all the kids having fun at Mont Haven in Jackson Avenue between 144th and 145th Street, Soundview at Stickball Boulevard from Seward Avenue to Randall Avenue, and Mount Eden at Rockwood Street from Grand Concourse to Walton Avenue. Follow at Fresh Air Fun on social media. Go on freshair.org and call them at 1-800-367-0003 for more information. We'll be right back here on Open BXRX Tuesday.